Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everybody's doing amazing, having a great day, guys. I think a lot of people underestimate or take for granted the power of social media and the ability for social media, not just to be somewhere you place food pictures or somewhere you pretend about how great your life is or somewhere that you let people know how far you ran today or, that you went to the gym. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of social media to really free you, to really generate revenue. I think a lot of people miss the opportunity that social media can change your life and really put you in a position to live like you only dreamed about living. And so today I want to talk to you about not missing opportunities, okay? Not missing chances to not only change your life, but not missing chances to change the life of the people around you. And, I've known for a long time that social media has that power. And I'm not even going to lie, as of late, I'm probably going to go ahead and just say when my mom passed away, I really started to uh, not take for granted social media, but I really haven't done as much as I could on social media to be able to grow my brand. Hey, Hope Lumpkin, I haven't seen you in forever. Good morning, Shanita. And that's something that I'm going to be working on, not just shifting my mindset, but also shifting my positioning to be crystal clear on who it is that I want to serve. And that's my message for all of you guys today is really being crystal clear about the life that you want to live and knowing, hey, Dolores, that social media is a tool for you to do that and not being embarrassed and not being afraid and really going out. There's a statement that I'm actually getting ready to get put on my website. It says, if you really want something, go for it. But if you want it faster, go with a mentor. And I think a lot of people underestimate the power of coaching and they think that coaching is a workshop or a course. And it's not. It's a lifelong commitment to say that I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my earnings. I'm going to be free to live the way that I want to live by any means necessary, whatever the cost. And really drawing that line in the sand that says, I'm tired of the way I'm living. I'm tired of not having access to kingdom abundance. I'm tired of not being free to take care of my family in a way that I know that I should be taking care of them and even taking care of myself. Amen. In a way that I know I should be taking care of myself and being able to go out and do the things that God has empowered you to do to change your situation. And I know change is hard, good or bad, but you've got to find a way to Jedi mind trick yourself into accepting the change that is good. One thing I hate to do, I hate moving. I don't care if I'm moving into a mansion, which I am, I still hate moving. So I got to say to myself, what can I do to make this move easier? And part of that is not move as little as possible. I'm not moving no furniture. And I keep saying that. I'm going to get my clothes, my books, my Hennessy collection, and my business papers. And that's it. You got to come to grips with life is hard. I was thinking about this last night. Life is difficult. And to get what you really want out of life is even more difficult. But to stay in your same situation year over year over year is the hardest thing of all. So we've got to start being mindful as to the opportunities that we miss to change our life. So right now we have about 600 applicants for our Free Women Grant. Out of that 600, only about 100 of them have taken the steps they need to secure their grant. So we're like, okay, we know this grant is a life-changing opportunity. What takes people so long to come to grips with the fact that my life is going to change, my money is going to change, all of the things that I've been asking for are right here? And it's simply the fact that we hate change. We hate not knowing what's around the curve, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, Naisa, you submitted yours? You got your interview yet? And if you submitted your application, make sure you check your junk mail, because we respond to you guys every day to tell you what's next. bit.ly/freewomen2020 to get your interest in. But you know, that fear of the unknown, we'd rather stay in a bad place than move to something good. I don't know. I don't know. So my encouragement for you this morning is to look at the tools that you have access to that our mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers, they didn't have access to. And use those tools to build a legacy. We've got to stop waiting on the world to say that they did us wrong and fix it. Especially when you got access to fix it yourself, at least for you and your family. Okay, great. Chanel, what do you think?
You know, Coach, we've been here for a long time talking about this. You know, we've shown you a way out. We've shown you another way, not just the way out, but that things can be done differently. We've not only shown you, but each one of us that you see now and that you see on this platform have demonstrated it. That's the thing. What we tell you is possible, we show you is possible. The rest really is up to you. Don't let fear steal your opportunity. All I could think of that it's gotta be fear that's keeping you stuck. What if I can't? What if it's not real? What if these people don't do right? And you see us consistently for over a year. Some of us over 8 years.
Yeah.
Showing you that we're moving forward, showing you that it's possible. And yet you cling to your fears. You cling to your what if it does work?
And the thing about nowadays is that there are no knowns. We're literally walking in what I would call a perpetual landmine situation. We don't know what COVID is going to do. We don't know what the economy is going to do. All of the security blankets that we had in the past, those blankets are gone. I'm finding people and hearing from people who had good jobs who are just being let go out of the blue. And I'm saying, and I even talked to a lady yesterday that was a COO of a major company. They let her go. And all I could ask her was, while you was making all that money, did you ever see fit to take some of that money, hey Shay, and build you a backup plan? Take some of that money and invest in the art of learning money. As many degrees as you can have. There's one lesson that everybody needs, and everybody needs a lesson in the art of making money with your own two hands. Good morning, Goddess Flow. And when you don't know how to make money with your own two hands, you're left subject to everybody else's whims. You're left subject to everybody else's thoughts. You're left subject to everybody else's decisions. So despite the degrees you may have, you've got to have a backup plan. And if that backup plan costs you, trust me, it's not going to cost you anywhere near what it's going to cost you to not have a backup plan. And especially the older we get, ladies, let me put you on note about something. The older we get, the less attractive we are in the corporate space. You know, we're not like white men. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. White men with age get more value. We with age, unfortunately, and I don't know why, get less value. So when you get to be 49 and 50, ain't nobody trying to hire you at a job. And if they are, they're not going to pay you nowhere near what you're worth. So come out here into this social media arena and claim your worth. And we're trying to give you a grant to help you do that. Like I said earlier, if you want what you want, go after it. But if you want what you want faster, get you a mentor. Get you somebody that's been there, done that, and can shave some time off your journey. And I'm not saying this is for the weak at heart or this for the lazy. This ain't no magic bullet. But what it is the strategy. It's just like baking a cake. There's a strategy to making money. And when you have the recipe, your cake still may not come out perfect because it may be a little humid that day and your recipe doesn't adjust for that. It may be a high altitude where you're baking the cake and the recipe doesn't adjust for that. But having a recipe is going to improve your chances of completing your objective better than you out here trying to figure out how to get to this bread by yourself. And I don't know what it is with my sisters. We hate help. No, I know what it is. I know what it is. And it ain't our fault. Black women have been conditioned to be the super women of society. I want to say it was Maya Angelou that said, everybody helps the white woman. The white men put on a pedestal. The black men desire her because she's forbidden fruit. And we are her milkmaids. But when it comes to us, we don't have anybody who is just got our back like that. Our black men have been taken from us. The family unit has been split up. White men are embarrassed that they had relations and children with us. And white women are jealous of our booties, our hair, and our lips. And it's not everybody. This is not in totality, but it's just a true story about our legacy. There's a book out that's called They Were Her Property. And it's about white women's role in the whole slavery movement and how, you know, the history has tried to paint them as being innocent bystanders, but when in actuality, they were just as complicit in the institution of slavery as anybody. So what we've got to do, number one, in order to shake off years and years of oppression, we've got to understand that abundance is our birthright. And that if you don't have it, there's a problem. And it's your problem to fix. And I'm going to talk about what those problems are. Number one, there's mental barriers that you've got to overcome in order to see true wealth because you got to start understanding that it's your birthright. You deserve it. And I don't mean you deserve it without working. I don't mean that you're going to get it instantly. I do mean you deserve it. And what that means is that you should have an expectation that the things you do are going to generate revenue. So there's number one. Number one, you have to have a mental transference. Number two, you got to have a physical transference. And what that means is that you got to be in relentless mode. You got to be of that mindset that by any means necessary, I'm going, and that does not mean working hard. That means working to obtain a strategy that is going to get you where you need to go. So there's the mental and the physical. And then you got to have the psychological. You got to have the psychological aspect that says, I'm going to get help. Somebody type in get help, which is so hard for us who've been conditioned as super women and looked upon as failures if we don't cook, clean, work, raise the children, and all that by ourselves. I'm not going to do none of that by myself. With the exception of raising your kids, there's a book by Dr. Thomas Staley called The Millionaire Next Door. With the exception of your kids, and you even need nannies and daycare for them. You shouldn't be doing any of that by yourself. You should have somebody coming to clean your house so you can focus on generational wealth. You should have somebody cooking a few meals a week so you can focus on generational wealth. You should have, see, because if you look at why there are so many male millionaires, and in particular white male millionaires, is because they have helpmates. Watch this. They got the wife that's over the dry cleaning, the cooking, the kids, the household. They not worried about who's going to cut the grass, nothing. All they worried about is thinking of a master plan, because ain't nothing but sweat inside their head. That's all they worried about. When was the last time that you could sit around and say to yourself that the only thing I got to worry about this month, this week, this year is making my way to 7 figures? So there's a part of a psychological saying to yourself that I need to assemble a team that includes experts, so I'm not out here wasting my time. So I'm not out here trying to figure it out by myself. And in the interim, what I would have paid an expert to help me come figure it out, I've either lost that times 10 in revenue that I could have been earning, or I misappropriated those funds buying things that I didn't need. And I could have been close to the 7 figures by now. bit.ly/freewomen2020. If you want to get some help, we're willing to meet you part of the way with these free women grants. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, every time I give back, God gives to me. And if you don't have a strategy for building, revamping, or growing your business, you need to put your name in the hat for that grant, and you need to pursue it. Take advantage of the technology. Take advantage of the support. Take advantage of, and if nothing else, take advantage of the community. Take advantage of wise counsel. You cannot be out there by yourself right now with no shelter, because the storm is brewing.
It's all about positioning, coach. It's all about being in position to be restored, to receive, and to increase your borders, increase your territory. You've got to be in position. Some of you guys,
not under somebody. Being in position with your hands extended. Because let me tell you something. if you're in position at a job and they're picking off 90% of your intellectual property, 90% of the things that you do to bring in money, that's not the right positioning. You gotta be in position to have direct deposit. Hello? You gotta be in position to have money coming straight to you. No middleman. You gotta be in position. You know what I said, and I'm gonna write this down as I'm working on my vision for the second half of the year. I plan on, and my goal, my prayer, my request is that one company write me one check for $1 million this year. At least one company write a check for $1 million. Let me explain it to you. I may have to gap it down with my team. Chanel says she sure is. But just to see one company write a check to Danielle Patterson Winningham International for over $1 million and have others in line to do the same, that's walking in your expectation. That's letting God do what he's capable of doing. And I know that if I continue to serve his children, he will continue to serve me. So there is a mindset shift that has to happen. First and foremost, for you to understand that your bank account, did she say S? Because see, when the Lord told Peter to cast your nets, Peter was hard-headed. What I tell y'all to do the other day? Open a bank account that you can't even see the money in every day. Open multiple bank accounts and expect that he bless all of them. That's number one, the mental. Number two is the physical. Do the work. Do the work that is required for you to become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, for you to be able to make millions of dollars a year. Do the work for you. Let me say that you're already a millionaire according to your works, but when will you do the work for yourself and cut out the middlemans? Number two. Number three is that psychological, saying that I know I need help because I'm embarking upon something that I've never done before. So let me get some help from somebody that's done it. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that. Because the blessings are here. When are we going to take advantage of them? So guys, for those of you who need help, go to I don't want you to wait until the grant has expired and be like, I know I'm tired of being where I am right now. If you're tired of being where you are right now and you need somebody to lead you to another space, go to bit.ly/freewomen2020 and put your application in so that you can be chosen to get some help. And again, like I tell everybody, it's not a free program. I don't do free. It costs me too much to get here. But for those of you who understand what you could be paying based on what this grant allows you to pay, you'll understand that it's a blessing beyond blessing. And stop asking God for the same things repeatedly. Stop asking God over and over to bless you and you ain't took advantage of the first blessing. Stop asking God to send you opportunities and you ain't taking advantage of this one. Stop asking God to expand your territory and when the time comes, you won't go on the mission. Stop asking God for what you're really not ready for. Anytime you ask God for something, you got to seek your heart first and ask God and say, you got to ask yourself, if God sends it to me tomorrow, am I ready? Something I tell you guys all the time, to make sure that in all your getting, you get an understanding. So you may be asking God for $1 million. What would you do with it if you got it? Do you have an assignment for your money? Do you have a plan on how to execute when the money starts coming in? It's not just about, it took me to this year and all the money that I've earned to understand that there is a circle of sorts where it's not just about the earning the money. It's about retaining the wealth. Did y'all catch that? So it's not just about earning the money, it's about retaining the wealth. It's about teaching your children how to be good stewards over the revenue. It is about having trust funds and fiduciary accounts and investment accounts where you can put the money and have the money protected. It's about owning real estate, improving your credit, but more than anything, having your business structured in a way that allows you to get access to other people's money and not trying to build and fund everything yourself. It's a process to building long-term wealth that when we do it correctly, we help the entire nation, the entire body of people to be better. So bit.ly/freewomen2020. We're going to have a telesummit once the grant process is over, and you're going to get an opportunity to see some of these women on the other side of being able to earn more, on the other side of being able to quit their jobs, on the other side of understanding that everybody has million earning potential. But do you have a strategy? Do you have the mindset? Number one. Are you willing to do the work? Number two, which, most women I know and most women I see, they're already doing the work, just not for themselves. They're doing it for men and jobs and their kids and their community and their church, but just not for them. And then number three, do you have physiological to go get some help and not try to carry this journey on your back? And I'm learning every day that everybody God has aligned us with, we're aligned with them for a reason. You don't just listen to people on accident. You didn't just click in here on accident. There's something for you to complete. There's something for you to do. There's something that's going to get you closer. You just got to take the right steps. So again, I'm super excited about this program. Super excited to be able to sow a seed back into the women who built me. See, you can say whatever you want about marketing, but it's my sisters that have catapulted my earnings. Whether they bought a $19 ebook or a $19,000 coaching course. So I have to give back, and I have to start giving back at the place where the people have supported me most diehard. And that's something else we got to look into while we're trying to build these businesses to impress people that will never spend money with us. I'm not even calling out a color. I'm talking about even a mindset. Kamisha said, I've been funding my business by myself and not really seeing a revenue from it. I've lost more than I get from it, and I'm still holding on to products I had from months ago. You got to let it go. Guys, that's not how businesses are built. We were taught to build by our bootstraps, but that's not right. It's not right. It's not right at all. So bit.ly/freewomen2020. Chanel, Berlin, y'all got anything to say as we close out?
You deserve it. It's your birthright to prosper. If you could get the mindset right and understanding that when revenue and resources flow to you, that your daddy assigned those resources and finances to you, when you begin to understand that he's a good father, and like any good father, he will not see his children hungry, homeless, or bereft, then you can begin to understand that all this money that's out here in the land, the houses, the gold, everything, every idea you get points you towards your purpose. And from there comes the revenue, the prosperity, the wealth.
And it's not even about being greedy, because the more I get from the kingdom, the more I can turn around and give to the kingdom. I'm going to repeat that.
Better say that.
The more the kingdom blesses me, the more I can not only bless others, but I can bless my own household. See, when we start building dynasties and empires and corporations and legacies and generational wealth that transfers, it changes everything. It changes the dynamics of who's in leadership. Don't forget, you lead with revenue first. It changes the dynamics of who makes decisions, who's in power. It changes the dynamics of how we're viewed as a people. It changes everything. So we've got to do our part. And if you don't have your part to bring to the table, you've got to be honest with yourself and asking, what have I done incorrectly? Number one, have I not been mentally ready to receive? Number two, have I physically been working hard and not smart? Have I been out here and not been coachable? Number three, have I not been on that psychological plane that I can understand that there's a strategy that I need to be employing that I don't have access to?
Now, what's your kingdom assignment? You might need to spend some time in the face of the Most High and ask him, what would you have me do with the resources? Because once your why becomes clear to you, then the resources will flow to you. What is your kingdom assignment? What does it look like? Who is it towards?
And if you don't know, then getting some help from somebody like a Chanel, or if you're bound by fear, getting some help from somebody like a Verlin, that's part of the steps. It's almost like, it's almost like Monopoly. Because there's certain things that if you don't do them in order, you do not pass go and you do not collect $2 million. So there's an order of operations to everything. And we want to help you start to understand the right order. So make sure you get your application in. We just got a note that we had almost 600 people interested. We're up to about 200 applicants, which will tap out the money. So at this point, it's all about first come, first serve, getting through the process and being ready to embark upon something that you didn't have before. So go to bit.ly/freewomen2020. We're going to get out of here where we can go to work serving those people who are coming up. But guys, don't miss the opportunity to move yourself and your family and your life to a different trajectory. Don't miss the opportunity things are opening up. You're sitting in the middle of one of the greatest wealth transfers that will ever happen. It happened once before when we lost it, but now we about to get it back. Pressed, shaking, how running over. And let the church say, Amen. All right, love you guys.